Went the way it always seemed to go, except this time it was the Steelers quarterback using multiple receivers to pick apart the Patriots defense. Well, the Cowboys went into Philadelphia after a bye week for the Eagles. Historically, that's a very bad thing. History repeated itself Sunday night. Plus, Tebowing may have officially jumped the shark, thanks in part to what the Lions did in Denver. It's all ahead on NFL Primetime.
Welcome to NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
Well, here we go. Hi, everybody, and welcome into this Halloween edition of NFL Primetime. Glad you are here with us. Trey Wingo alongside Tim Hasselback and Merrill Hodge. Trust me, Halloween is scarier in some parts of the country than it is in other parts of the country right now. We got a lot to get to in what was a crazy Sunday in the NFL, but first, let us go to the best-smelling stadium in all of the NFL. Yes. Arrowhead, as the barbecue is wafting through for a DirecTV team report. Rachel Nichols is there. And Rachel, the Chiefs are on a little bit of a run, but San Diego is trying to convince themselves that despite what happened last week, all is fine.
Yeah, well, Trey, the Chargers are 4-2, which is actually the best start they have ever gotten off to under Norv Turner. So that's the good news. The bad news, they have yet to beat a team with a winning record. And a lot of people after that loss in the Meadowlands wondering, do they really have what it takes when competition gets tighter toward the end of the season? Now, in talking to Philip Rivers, he said that guys after that Jet loss were, quote, cranked. He said that they came out of the locker room looking and saying somebody has got to pay for this. So strong words. Even given that, though, Trey, he said he doesn't really understand why everyone is calling this a statement game and that they have to make a statement win. He said, what's a statement win? If we win this, do we move up in the BCS standings? He said, a win is a win. There's no doubt, Trey, they need one of those.
That is correct, Rachel, and that's the beauty of the NFL. There's no such thing as an ugly win because it still counts as a W.
And there's no such thing as a BCS, thank goodness.
That is also a very good thing about the
Love
NFL.
That.
And it's interesting, Tim, because the Chiefs had every reason to sort of fall apart here. They lost tight end Tony Moreeeee in the preseason. They lost Jamal Charles week 2. They lost their first 3 games. But despite all of that, and especially the losses on offense, KC has found a way to get that rhythm going when they have the ball.
Yeah, and they've had to change things, especially on the offensive side of the ball because of the injuries that you mentioned. And really, you've seen it in the run game. Before with Jamal Charles, it didn't matter if it was a bad look. They felt comfortable handing him the football because they felt like he could make a guy miss and turn it into a big run. But that's changed. See, you got 7 guys in the box. You're going to run the football to the weak side. That safety comes down. Now you can't run it versus that look, so they're going to run a little ram slant. Right away slant, Dwayne Bowe. This is a called run play that turns into a huge passing play for that offense. The safety again down in the box, that 8th defender. So what do you do on a crucial 3rd and 1? That one-step ram slant again to Dwayne Bowe. Another big pickup. They weren't done doing it. Same thing, now backed up, 8th defender down in the box. You have the weak side lead play called again, but you're going to throw that one-step right away slant to Dwayne Bowe. Look at him muscle it, getting their players, their skill position players outside involved in it. Now that safety moves back. 7 defenders in the box. Now you can run that weak side lead play, which is exactly what the Chiefs do here. It's Jackie Battle, not the same type of runner as Jamal Charles, but when you have good angles in the run game, you can have success running the football, and that's what they've done. That's how that offense has evolved without the players that you've mentioned.
Yeah, Merrill, that's the offensive side for Kansas City. As for the defensive side, they lost Eric Berry early in the season. But in the last game, they picked off both Kyle Bowler and Carson Palmer 3 times, had 2 of those returned to the house, 6 interceptions in that game. That's got to be problematic for Philip Rivers. Despite the Chargers' record, he has not played very well.
No, and this is actually, to me, is probably the key to the game. And when you look at how the Chiefs want to play defense, they're going to smother you. And what I mean by smothering you, they're going to smother your wide receivers, going to make your quarterback throw it to tight windows. And that's what happened to the Raiders last week when they tried to do that. And they'll even do some things as far as disguising goes. Here's the smothering aspect. Man-to-man at the line of scrimmage. They give you actually a 2-deep look, like the safety's deep, but at the snap of the ball, instead of staying 2 deep with 2 safeties and playing man underneath, the safety goes like a lurk and jumps and reads the quarterback's eyes. Kyle Bowler doesn't account for him, and he throws the interception. The wide receiver actually was open based on beating the corner, but not accounting for the safety coming down in the box. The pick 6 happens. They also will bring pressure. They smother you on the outside, and they bring pressure on the inside. And they do it with a sense of urgency. Man-to-man on the outside. Linebacker Johnson inside. Now, what he does a great job here is a green dog. He has got that back coming out of the backfield. When he shows he's going to pick up, he's like, good, I'm gone. I'm going to hit the quarterback. We're going to put pressure on him. We're going to challenge every aspect of your awesome offense. Now, the Raiders say, listen, let's bring Carson Palmer in here. This is why Carson struggled last week. They fooled him into certain disguises. Safety is down around the box, corner's right there, but at the snap of the ball, safety runs over the top. That allows the corner to jump routes, play underneath, because if he gets beat over the top, he has help. Well, the Raiders obviously struggled with that. When you look at tonight's matchup, the San Diego Chargers have struggled in the passing game as well. Phillip Rivers has struggled. These wide receivers have struggled. And tonight, the wide receivers have to win. They got to get separation, and Phillip Rivers will have to make tight stick throws consistently, which he hasn't done all year, and he's got to be careful because those safeties tell you everything about coverage. However, if you think those safeties are stand deep and it's two-man underneath, think again, because they do a lot of that, giving you that look, but those safeties don't stay deep. They come down and play certain type of buzz coverage and help their corners.
And remember, it was the Monday night game a year ago to start the season when San Diego walked into Kansas City and the Chiefs pulled off the big upset that really got the Chiefs' momentum going as they went on to win the AFC West, surprising a lot of people. Chiefs going for their 4th straight win tonight on Monday Night Football. Just getting warmed up here on NFL Primetime. It was a rookie-on-rookie matchup, and Cam did his part. However, Christian Ponder and the Vikings had just enough to eke out the win. Well, history says don't play the Eagles after a bye. History smacked the Dallas Cowboys in the face. Actually, it was the Philadelphia Eagles that did that. And the Steelers flipped the script on New England. We'll explain.
NFL Primetime is presented by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go. And in part by Audi, truth in engineering.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. Week 8 sets up a clash in the AFC West as the Bolts look to strike at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs are out to avenge their road loss in Week 3. Can Castle and the boys turn their fortunes around? Or will Rivers and the Superchargers rack up another win and stay on top of the AFC West? It all starts tonight at midnight CET with Monday NFL Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
My dream, man. Dreamed of this since I was 6, watching you, Dion, all y'all.
There you go. Beautiful. Huh? I'll never tell you that you're beautiful.
Let's have a fun night tonight, man.
Well, that's all we can do.
Romo on a shotgun 3rd and 8, under some pressure. Looks right, throws down the right sideline. What a catch by Des Bryant.
I thought I had him out of bounds, but I got him. I respect you too, boy. Hey, it's real talk. Hey, we gonna dug it out like some bulls now. Come on, man! Come on!
They rush 4. Romo rolling right, throws right sideline. Intercepted, picked up by Revis.
What? That's how you do it, boy! Hey, much respect, bro. You know, it's all competition out there, man. Hey, man, you got some heart, man.
It's this way.
Huh. Okay. I did not anticipate this thing being inside the wall. That's going to take a lot longer than I thought, and I really got to bail.
What?
All right, so as soon as whatever that is fully breaks out, and it will, shoot it in the face with this. After that, it's pretty much just cleanup. Okie doke. Have a good night.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
Welcome back to Primetime. Trey Wingo here with Merrill Hodge and Tim Hasselbeck. I think we all know what the mantra was in Pittsburgh this week. All they heard, 6-1, 6-1. That was Tom Brady's record lifetime as a starting quarterback against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs. No. It ain't 6-1 anymore. That's because Ben Roethlisberger was walking in rhythm and moving in style, Merrill.
He has not ever played better in his career than he has played in the last month. When you talk about rhythm, planting the back foot, balls coming out, and the thing that's most impressive, he's beating people at the line of scrimmage mentally. You blitz him, you get a free blitzer, he stings you from the pocket.
Yeah, used Heath Miller a lot in this first drive, and then it's Moreeeee Moore with the payoff for the 5-yard touchdown. Patriots had only 3 offensive plays in the first quarter. The Steelers had 10 first downs. We talked about those receivers. How about Emmanuel Sanders? Boy, he's becoming a big play guy too, gain of 26. And then there is their biggest big play guy, Mike Wallace.
Yeah, you look so much speed at the wide receiver position for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And when they get running into the holes in that secondary, just a ton of room for big plays to happen.
Plenty of time for Ben to find somebody, and there it's Antonio Brown. The Steelers up 17-10 at the half. Ben, 36 of 50, I don't know what that was, for 365 yards and 2 touchdowns. A worm. It was awful, is what it was. Fourth quarter, 23-10, the Patriots are down. They sort of mismanaged that. That looked like, with 4:11 on the clock, that was a touchdown to Rob Gronkowski, right?
Yeah, it looked like it to me. They don't challenge it, maybe because they're in a hurry-up mode.
Right there.
Do that, but I agree with you, Trey. I think if they review this, there's a good shot they get the credit for the touchdown at that point in the game.
With time at 4:11. The next play doesn't happen until 3:34. That's to Kevin Falk. That's a great hit by Ryan Clark to keep him out.
That was a big-time hit. You know, a rising bull right at the goal line, can't get the ball across, and it allowed you for another down, more time off the clock.
Yeah, 4th down. It's now 2:48 before they get this off. Remember, if they had challenged it, it would have been a touchdown at 4:11. Now that one's intercepted. Hold on, but that is a flag holding on the defense so the drive stays alive. And then on 1st and goal, it's Aaron Hernandez, but instead of a touchdown at 4:11, it came with 2:35 left in the game. So ensuing Patriots kickoff. Oh, they're going onside, but Stephen Gostkowski didn't kick it long enough or hard enough. He just never got enough foot on it.
Just poor execution. You had to think the Patriots may kick it deep because they had 3 timeouts. Instead, they go for the onside kick there and just don't execute it.
Okay, so that makes it a 6-point game, and then Ben Roethlisberger sacked by Mark Anderson, loss of 8. They have to punt it away, which means Tom's going to get the ball, but on the first play of the next drive, here comes Brett Kiesel.
Brett Kiesel makes more plays like this, but they get camouflaged because of all the other plays that are made like this by Troy Polamalu.
Punches it out of the back of the end zone. That's a safety, and it was a 6-point cushion, becomes an 8-point win. Great job by Polamalu. And the Steelers go on to win that one 25-17, one of the more unusual scores you'll ever see in the NFL. What should we expect from a team a few years ago that won a game 11-10? But, Tim, it is interesting. All the talk coming into this game was about Tom Brady. He's going to spread them out with Hernandez, Gronkowski, Deion Branch, Wes Welker. It was Ben doing that with his young, fast receivers that really was the difference.
Absolutely. And, Merrill talked about how well Ben has been playing. Listen, he got a ton of pass protection, and when you have that type of pass protection with the speed and skill at the wide receiver position that the Steelers have, you're going to get big plays, and that's exactly what we saw from this offense. You saw fast receivers running down the field, and look at Ben Roethlisberger here with the pocket to get through his progression, 1 to 2 to 3, back to the backside in cut, and he's able to step into the throw and drive it down the field. Now, again, the vertical passing game, able to step into the throw, drive the ball down the field. Look at the separation created for Ben Roethlisberger to find Antonio Brown down the field. Same thing again, Ben Roethlisberger, a nice pocket to read the coverage, decipher where he's going with the football, step into the throw, and drive it down the field. And it's not just about the guys up front blocking. It's also about these receivers blocking. Look at this, a little go screen to Mike Wallace. Look at Emmanuel Sanders outside, getting the block from Mike Wallace, and then the speed to get up the field. When you watch the Pittsburgh Steelers play, you can't help but be impressed by that group of wide receivers. And I'm going to tell you right now, I would put them in the same class as the Green Bay Packers, as the New Orleans Saints.
Absolutely.
They are a complete group at that position, and they're playing lights out right now.
A lot of credit needs to go to Bruce Arians, their offensive coordinator. Since the Houston game, has made a lot of changes and rectified a lot of issues that they had up front. And speaking of coordinators, Dick LeBeau, obviously he's a Hall of Famer for a variety of reasons, but he was brilliant in how he changed his game plan. If you think of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, you think of zone blitzes, and try to find those voids and zones. And that's what Tom Brady had done in the past. Dick LeBeau said, ain't happening on my watch this go around. We're going to line up man-to-man. We're going to smother your wide receivers. We're going to take away your first read. And here's what I love, the wrinkle. Using Troy Polamalu to his strength. Give him flexibility, the freedom to play and read the quarterback. Goes back to the middle of the field. But watch him up here. The running back has beat the linebacker out of the backfield. Tom Brady getting rid of the ball quick. Rapalamalu's there, taking the throw away. Now Tom Brady has to reset his feet, make a longer throw to a guy who is very well covered. That's what they did early. They smothered everything. They got pressure. They didn't play into their zone blitz concepts. They got pressure with their guys one-on-one, getting after Tom Brady, making him reset his feet and make long throws. If you think about the Patriots and the staple and what makes them great, you think Tom Brady getting rid of the football and getting rid of it quick. Couldn't do that Sunday against the Steelers. They put pressure on him. They made him move his launch point. They took away a lot of the first reads. They smothered the wide receivers, and they made him make these type of throws, which really leads you into a concern if you're a Patriot fan. The one phase the Patriots are awesome at is that very short intermediate phase, and Brady gets rid of the football quick. When that gets gone, which it was gone in that game, what do they have? They got nothing. And that will be a concern. I mean, if you want to win a championship,
no question,
you better get some more phases to your offense pretty quickly. And what the Steelers did, too, is their zone concepts and this kind of stuff makes them the defense that we're used to seeing.
Stretching the field was definitely a problem. By the way, Lamar Woodley, a third straight game with multiple sacks, the first player in Steelers franchise history to pull that off. And wow, they've had a lot of good linebackers in Pittsburgh over the years. Lots more coming on this edition of NFL Primetime. The other Pennsylvania football team, it was better than what we saw in Pittsburgh. The dream may be revived in Philadelphia. We've got that. Plus, San Francisco football fans are saying, finally, this is what I remember seeing from my team for all those decades.
NFL Primetime is streaming live on your computer, tablet, or smartphone via WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. Football lives here. Coverage begins with College Game Day, Saturday at 1400 CET, live on ESPN America.
If you get a hat on a hat like that, Matt Forte can make you pay, because once he gets into the second level, this guy is as good as there is.
And Forte all the way down to the 3. Forte untouched to the end zone. Career high 205 yards for Forte.
Well, I always wanted to be a star, didn't I? Now I get to be a star every day on my helmet, you know?
Sanders to the 25, Sanders to the 10, 68 yards. He did it again.
Sanders is dancing. He's looking backwards from about the 40-yard line. Oh, is he going to do a number on the crowd here?
I got one thing to say. This is my house. And in my dormitory room at Florida State, I created this image, this thing that you could imagine. You could love him or hate him, but he was pride. I like him, but something's missing.
Rundown today, I knew it was going to be a good day.
Feeling good about this.
We're all that kid.
It's a great head.
It's almost salon perfect.
Ooh.
Got a little crazy here.
We've become the most violent show on television. I am unaffected by this.
Merry Christmas! I'm going to need some pep. Holy moly!
Oh, that was a good day.
Don't miss Sports Nation, weekdays on ESPN America.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. I'm Rachel Nichols in Kansas City. Now, if the Chiefs can win tonight to advance to 4-3, it's going to be a remarkable journey from the flat-out beatdowns they took at the start of the season. but it won't be unprecedented. In fact, earlier this season, Coach Todd Haley did something pretty interesting. He dug into his own family's past, showing his team some old NFL films footage of the 1989 Steelers. Now, Haley's dad was a legendary team's director of scouting back then, Dick Haley, and it was a bad season. They lost their first 2 games 92-10. But those Steelers bounced back to make the playoffs. Haley wanted to send a message to his players that they could too. He told us he wanted them to know that during that stretch, the end has not been written yet. It's a long season, and games like tonight are still out there for the taking for the Chiefs. Trey?
Do not forget to watch our new internet-friendly, interactive, fun show, NFL 32, weekdays, Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Susie and Mort most days. It's NFL 32. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to stop by for a visit. We do know certain things. Death, taxes, and the Eagles after a bye. Pretty much as rock solid as you can get. Eagles welcomed in the Cowboys after their bye week, and Michael Vick, let's just say he used the bye wisely. Little play fake, and then he's off for a gain of 15 yards, and that was just the beginning of what would be an avalanche of offense. Slings it to Jeremy Maclin, and Tim, I believe he's got a convoy.
He sure does. Jason Peters out there in space getting a block on the corner. Jeremy Maclin had a nice, easy touchdown.
That was on a 3rd and 9er. They're up 7-0. And then Brent Selleck, that's a great throw to Brent Selleck for the touchdown to make it 21-0. The Cowboys are like, what is kickoff happened yet? What's going on? And then it's 2nd and 5, and Vick all kinds of time, and he finds Brent Selleck again over the middle. A lot of space in that secondary.
Yeah, and a great job of working the middle of the field, linebackers on tight ends, wide receivers on safeties, but really creating great matchups from the Eagles' perspective.
Certainly one thing that hurt the Cowboys, Sean Lee, their fine cover linebacker, went out with an injury to his wrist, and Keith Brooking and Brady James were in there, but it didn't matter who was in there. Michael Vick was finding people like Jason Avant, Tim.
He sure was, and you see the separation that gets created, as Merrill was saying, attacking the middle of that defense with tight ends, and there you go, attacking it with a wide receiver.
This was 2010 Vick, 21-28, 279, 2 scores, and this was LaShawn McCoy ever since he's been in the stinking league. Up the middle for 21, and that's a first down, and that was just the beginning of what would be a long night for Cowboy defenders trying to stop McCoy. Another huge hole up the middle, 34 yards down to the 2. He would score on the next play. He had 80 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, great job of getting flow one way, cut off on the backside, and we got another Canale, baby. A seal here and a seal there.
That was it?
Yeah.
Canyon and an alley?
And an alley.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And then
it's that big, it's a canal. Usually it's just an alley.
It was that big all night. Now, DeMarcus Ware had 3 sacks in this game, but it was this. Nobody else was participating on defense. Another gain of 22, and then in the fourth quarter, 2nd and 1 from the 13, and we're just going to finish this thing off right about now. McCoy, 30 carries, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, and it was blowout city. 34-7. You want to talk numbers? Let us have Schwab talking numbers. The Eagles rushed for a season-high 239 yards on the Cowboys defense that, oh, by the way, came in ranked #1 against the run. Shady also ran for 2 touchdowns, equaling the amounts Dallas had surrendered all season prior to Sunday night. Merrill, your thoughts?
Trey, Eagles running the football. Yeah, that's right. That's what I said. The Eagles are running the football in amazing style. And here's what I like about what they're doing is they're designing runs that fit the strength of LaShawn McCoy. Example on this play, this bend back run. LaShawn McCoy's action is going to start this way, and that's going to get the Cowboys to flow in that direction. The backside defender, he has to close it, also worry about cut back and contain. And with Vick, that is a problem. Let me show you what happens as we snap the ball. As Vick hands the ball off there, look at that opening. Cowboys are flowing to the play side. LaShawn McCoy starting that way, but he's going to come back this way. And they take the tight end in design to cut and block that backside contained player. So LaShawn McCoy will have a seal here and a seal there, and he's in the alley. The Eagles have great balance now. When you think of defending the Eagles, yes, Vick is part of it, but now LaShawn McCoy in his running game, huge problem for whoever faces the Eagles.
That's right, Merrill. The Philadelphia Eagles were able to run the ball effectively, but they were also able to throw it effectively. And they were able to do that by getting into the same formation, but then giving different route combinations to that Dallas Cowboys defense. And they did a tremendous job of this, and it got that speed running on that defense. Watch the Eagles now shift into an empty set, okay? So look at it. It's a 3 wide receiver set essentially to the top, 2 down to the bottom. Now watch Michael Vick go through his progression. and he's going to get Jason Avant running in the middle of the field versus linebackers. That's a great matchup for the Philadelphia Eagles offense. You look at it here, because of the shift into empty, you get into a cover 2 look. See the linebackers in the middle of the field. Jason Avant running a crossing route in the middle of the field. Look at the separation for Michael Vick to find Avant. That is speed running into the secondary. Now, same thing on the same drive. You're going to shift into that empty formation again. So it's the same formation look, but now it's going to be a different route combination. Jason Avant's going to start as if he's running that crossing route and then snap it back out. Look at, again, the separation on this drive for Jason Avant. Here it is. There's Keith Brooking in space against a wide receiver. Absolutely confused. A huge window to throw the football. And that right there is exactly what Andy Reid had in mind, Trey, when he put all of that speed together for the Philadelphia Eagles offense.
Tim, no question.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you, Halloween.
Wow.
Browns, Niners, Jim Harbaugh and company looking for their first 5-game winning streak in a decade, and they got it because Frank Gore is still really, really good. Right up the middle for a touchdown, and it's 7-0 San Francisco. Merrill, 4 straight games with at least 120-something yards and a touchdown. He's an elite company there.
There's no question. It is the one thing between that and their defense that gives the 49ers a shot every Sunday to pull off a victory.
And then they got a little kooky. All right? That's Joe Staley, offensive tackle, reported eligible, and, sure, they're going to Joe Staley. And look, come get some. Joe Staley takes it down. Tim, look at the cell.
Listen, very few teams throw the ball out of the unbalanced look, but that's exactly what the 49ers do here. Because of the unbalanced look, you get strong flow by the Browns defense. And then they're just trying to get Staley the ball in space.
All right, we love Staley picking up the first down, looking for contact, right?
Yes, love it.
So let's flip it. Let's flip it to defensive tackle Isaac Sopoaga, okay? He lines up. Now, he's just going to block somebody.
He's a load.
They're not throwing to him. They throw to him. And Isaac Sopoaga is going to... He ran out of bounds, untouched. Come on.
He's been watching a lot of Ted Ginn finish plays.
Whoa.
Wow, that was a body blow. He will take some heat for this one, folks. When he's sitting in that meeting room.
His job is to initiate contact, right?
And you have an opportunity to score, man.
Come on.
In the end zone.
49ers, they'll win 20-10. Please don't be mad at us, Isaac. When we continue on NFL Primetime. Cam Newton has been spectacular, but Christian Ponder also rising up the charts. A very impressive performance for both rookie quarterbacks in Carolina. As for Tim Tebow, the home start was different than the road start, but in all the wrong ways.
Talking Numbers is brought to you by Charles Schwab. Let's talk about the personal attention you and your money deserve. Talk to Chuck.
This November on ESPN America, it's an action-packed fall, and we've got it all. College football's biggest rivalries take center stage, and we're back on campus as the new college hoop season tips off. Plus, every Monday, Michael Kim and the crew keep you up to date with the latest NFL news on an all-new hour-long sports center. And get ready for the NFL's Thanksgiving feast. The brightest stars, the biggest games, all month long, live on ESPN America.
Representing the newly named AFC and NFC conferences, the Baltimore Colts met the Dallas Cowboys in Super Bowl V. In the first half, Dallas came up with their sole touchdown. Then, for the remainder of the game, mistakes and turnovers would plague both teams. The Colts managed to capitalize on Cowboy mistakes. Timely interceptions on Baltimore's part gave the Colts a clear advantage, including one turnover that led to the game-winning field goal. Rookie kicker Jim O'Brien connected with 5 seconds remaining in the game.
From exotic escapes to spa indulgences, to golf getaways. You'll discover your perfect retreat at Starwood Hotels and Resorts' brand new website, spg.com/resorts. Book your dream vacation at one of more than 200 amazing resorts and take advantage of our best rate guarantee. More luxury, more destinations. spg.com/resorts.
It is the new season, and we are set for football.
And here we go.
He's going to air one out down the middle, and he's caught.
The NFL all season long, live on ESPN America HD.
Tebow! First home start of the year for Tim Tebow. Denver Broncos welcoming in the Detroit Lions, and there's Tim getting ready for the game. First quarter, Broncos trailing 7-3, and there's Eddie Royal, and there's the pass. That wasn't great. Later in the first quarter, it is 3rd and 7. Tebow back to pass, and Stephen Tulloch says, "You must go down and go down hard." And look what Stephen Tulloch does afterwards.
Let's watch him.
He did it. He Tebowed. He was Tebowing. By the way, the Broncos 0 for 7 on 3rd down in the first half of this game. Second quarter, Broncos trail 10-3. Tim Tebow looking for Eric Decker.
Not so much.
No. Overthrown. Okay, it is 24-3 at this point, and, well, Tim Tebow's making plays for the wrong team. Strip sack, fumble, Cliff Averill, touchdown, struggling with the pass rush, and then struggling with the throws. Broncos down 38-3 on the 8, and that is late to the flat, and it is gone. Pretty impressive performance here by Chris Houston. 100 yards on the score. On the day, Tebow 18 of 39, 172 yards and 1 touchdown, and the 2 turnovers that led to Detroit touchdowns. Now, after the game, John Fox says he was non-committal about who will start next week for the Denver Broncos. On Monday, he said, "We definitely need to see improvement." Tim, if he doesn't start next week, what is the plan? What's the point?
Well, if he doesn't start next week, then there isn't a plan and there isn't a point. And if if John Fox wants to see improvement, you need to play the guy to see improvement. And the reality is, this was horrible. This was an awful performance passing the football, but we didn't learn anything new. What? He's got a long delivery? We knew that. He's going to miss guys and he's going to be inaccurate? We knew that and we saw that. That's what you saw from Tim Tebow. So unless you let a guy play, and he only has 5 starts at this point in his career, you can't find out if you're going to even see improvement if you can't coach him up to improve in the passing game.
Well, here's what probably is more disturbing than the 2 things that you just mentioned that they saw last week when they plugged in the tape, and why they won't make any commitment on Sunday until they look at the tape. When I went back and looked at the tape of the Miami game, there were guys wide open. Now, what was disturbing about it is Tim Tebow had no clue where to throw that football. Therefore, he doesn't understand what he's seen as far as coverages go and where the ball must go. That's a massive problem. That actually precedes the other 2 things that we knew he had. So when you look at this game, there would be no clear indication from the TV that he got better at that, but that's what coaches want to do. If they go look at the Detroit game and go, listen, he's still not even looking where we need to go with the football. He doesn't even know where we're going with the ball. I think he gets one more start. If that continues to see that, they do have enough evidence that this is over.
Here's the thing, though. We have enough evidence on the guy. And I'm acknowledging this. It's been horrible. It's been absolutely horrible. This is a young football player who hasn't had much opportunity to throw the ball. So how many times did you throw it against Miami? 24 times? How many times did you throw it against the Detroit Lions?
39, I think.
39, okay. Off of 65 attempts, you're saying the guy can play or he can't play.
Tim.
He's a young quarterback. You need to improve in the passing game.
I'm going to say one thing.
I'm not telling you that they're not going to do it, what you're predicting.
I'm going to say this. It's attitudes like that that get GMs and coaches fired.
Listen, it's attitudes like they've already portrayed with
there is enough evidence over
fired.
2 years to know what this guy is.
Well,
name me another quarterback who was a first-round pick who, after 5 games, everyone's already done with him, including the general manager and the head coach.
There has been nobody in the history, I don't think, the last 25 years of me playing and studying this game that's ever been this bad. There's nobody
you never watched
back at
Jamarcus Russell then. They didn't give up on him after 5 games.
Now, Jamarcus
there
Russell,
is a difference though for being the number 1 overall pick. There's a different financial commitment. That's different. That's different.
You can't say it's never been that bad. It's just not true.
Listen, he's
1-1 this year. You want
to save your organization. You want to save your organization?
That's what it's about. But what I'm saying is about protecting the general manager and the head coach, or finding out
saving your
if
organization.
a guy can play.
Are you kidding me? Did you really need any more?
No,
need more?
Listen, I'm telling you right now that
we literally
got to develop guys.
We literally could do this forever. Unfortunately,
I was praised the last week.
We have some
cut bait and move on.
We'll find out. But if they do get rid of him already, it is an indication that it's a complete wash, and we'll see what happens
You
as they
cut
go
bait
forward.
and run now.
Making it more difficult is what we've seen out of other quarterbacks. Meanwhile, Matthew Stafford. We talked so much about Tim Tebow. You know what? Lions came back. They needed this win. They played pretty darn good. Matthew Stafford, all kinds of time, and well, how does this happen? Okay. How is Titus Young 7,000 yards open?
Well, you've got a miscommunication in the secondary. You would have to ask them how it happened.
I mean, it
just clearly happened.
That's as bad as it gets.
Yeah, you obviously didn't see that vertical.
He could punt that ball.
Tebow, play some defense.
That was not on Tim Tebow. Then I'll give Tony Scheffler all the credit in the world. He is one of the more entertaining guys out there whenever he makes a play. Nice juggling catch, and he had a little. He did I believe at one point he did a mile-high salute and Tebowing on one same play.
Welcome back to Denver.
Yeah, exactly. He was saying thanks for welcoming me back. And then, free play here. The offside, Calvin Johnson, and he's gone.
He sure was, and Matthew Stafford knew
it. Slowed it down.
Calvin Johnson, so good at the line of scrimmage. Unbelievable job getting downfield.
45-10, all is right in Detroit as the two-game losing streak is over. Okay, one of the things that makes what we see out of Tebow harder to understand is what we're seeing already out of guys like Cam Newton and Christian Ponder with less time and no OTAs and no mini camps and all that kind of stuff. That's also true, but we've seen people do it like Cam.
Actually has a better shot.
Well, Cam Newton to Steve Smith. Looks like he got in. The play would be reviewed. They put him down at the 1 yard line. Steve Smith, by the way, having an unbelievable year. They would score a touchdown on the drive later to tie it.
Cam Newton has energized him.
Yes, he has.
It's about new life.
And one of the great things the Panthers did this offseason, get your young quarterback at tight end. Greg Olsen has been such a find for them. 39 yards, 14-7 Panthers. And then Newton, one more time. Look at that throw.
The timing, accurate, velocity on the football. So good.
21-14 on the 22-yard score. As for Adrian Peterson, didn't have 100 yards, but boy, he announced his presence with authority.
Nobody plays this game in a more correct fashion from the running back position than that guy right there.
19-yard score, tied it at 14, and then how about just running the ball a little bit? Get
violent, physical,
out,
power,
get out,
agility, speed, yeah, the whole package.
Yeah, he had it all. And those are some pretty good moves, too, to go along with the power that you speak of. That touchdown tied it up at 21. This was actually a very entertaining game. Fourth quarter still tied at 21, and Christian Ponder, okay, making his second start, making a lot of progressions and a lot of nice throws there like that one.
Doing a good job into the blitz, getting the ball out of his hands quickly so Percy Harvin can get up the field.
All right, so that's a first down. Later on the drive, it's Ponder. Over the middle for Devin. We're going to let it. Aroma should do what it do, baby. First down, over the middle for 15 yards. And then Ponder, once again, going to Percy Harvin for another first down at the 34. The Vikings would actually pick a field goal here to go up 24-21, but they left time on the clock for the final drive for Cam and company. Cam had some good throws, none better than this one on 4th and 14, Tim, to keep the drive alive.
I just look at him drive this ball down the field so his wide receiver can spin out of the in cut and get up the field and also get out of bounds on this last drive.
Gain of 44 yards, so now it's a 3rd and 3. Again, under a minute to play. Field goal ties it, touchdown wins it. Cam doing what Cam does, gets the first down, but wait, you see the flag come down. Steve Smith sort of holds the arm of Chad Greenway there, so that backs him up to the 18-yard line. I'll take one more shot to see what they can do. Throws it to Smith, but it's short of the first down, so we get basically an elongated field extra point to tie. Yeah. So Lindo Mare.
It's a gimme.
It's a Lindo no way. Ooh, oh my, shoinkopotamus. And the Panthers lose on that one. Christian Ponder gets his first win, 24-21. Redskins and Bills in Toronto. And in Toronto has been a house of horrors for Buffalo. They've never won, and they're winless, 0-3. Really? Yeah, not really a home field advantage for them at all until this game.
That's just across the river.
Ryan Fitzmagic, second touchdown of the day to Scott Chandler after the big contract. It put him up 20-0. He was 21 of 27, 262 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then the defense just flat took over. 4 sacks through week 7. They had many more, and it was a continuing onslaught all game.
Yeah, and you look at it, didn't matter if it was Rex Grossman, John Beck, the
Billy
way that
Kilmer,
fronts.
Jurgensen.
Yeah, you're right.
Mark Rippon.
Yeah, this
Jeff Hostetler.
Bill Williams.
Doug Williams.
Jeff Rutledge.
This
Nice.
Washington offensive line, though.
It was a bad day for the Washington Redskins. John Beck had no chance at all, ever. First shutout ever for Mike Shanahan. Bills win it 23-0. Still coming on this edition of NFL Primetime. I mean, who out there among us didn't see the Rams taking it to the Saints? That was so unbelievably obvious. Plus, Ray Rice and company proved the second half more important than the first half of an NFL game.
Sunday Night Football tripleheader live on ESPN America. First, the Bucs roll into the Big Easy to take on Breeze and the Saints. Then Rodgers and the defending world champions head west to tackle the division-leading Bolts. And the purple and black descend upon Steeler Nation for an epic AFC North showdown. It all starts at 1600 CET with Sunday NFL Countdown. Sunday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
It's frustrating and it's very disappointing, and it's not something I look forward to.
So it's 19 yards on the right hash for the lead. The snap is bad, and their season's going to end. Unbelievable! Romo can't get the spot down.
He did a good job. We just had a mishandled snap.
It obviously cost us the game.
Romo takes the snap, has time to the end zone, intercepted by the Giants. R.W. McQuarters.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
He waits, he looks, he fires intercepted. He drives for the goal line. Big Bird touchdown.
You can't turn the ball over that many times and expect to win.
Back goes Romo again. It's fumbled. The Eagles are going to the playoffs, and the Cowboys are going for smelling salt.
I'm disappointed and frustrated, but we will be better.
Romo rolling right, throws right sideline, intercepted.
I'm gonna trade him for nothing. You know, he the best. He the real deal.
The dude can still make plays. 90% of this league can't.
Tony played one of the best games I've ever seen him play.
He's an awfully good football player. We'll see what happens when this is all said and done.
Oh, it was a scary, scary Sunday in St. Louis for the Saints. All hail Tony La Russa. I mean, he got a world championship, his third. He helped cure the Rams. I mean, you want to go out on the high note. Tony La Russa has done it in St. Louis. The Rams defense was fired up all day long. That was Robert Quinn. Here comes Chris Long. And the imaginary home run. He opened up too much on that swing, though.
Think so? Foul ball?
Yeah, probably pulled it. 2 plays later, there's Robert Quinn again. That draft pick out of North Carolina comes up and blocks it. The Rams would punch it in to take a 10-0 lead. That's only 10-0. It's the Rams. It's the Saints. They put up 62. What's the problem? Well, this is the problem. He steps in and he's just floating that one out there, picked up by Josh Gordy. So the Rams set up with great field position. And on the ensuing Rams drive, A.J. Feely to Brandon Lloyd. This is why you go get him. And what a great throw by A.J. Feely.
Yeah, it's a prime time dime. Remember the E silent, inside release by Brandon Lloyd. Look at A.J. Feely drive the ball in between the corner and the safety. Nice adjustment down in the red zone.
If the E is silent, let's just make it the prime Tim down.
Let's do it.
Because it sounds like you're just not doing what you're saying. And there's Chris Long one more time. Another sack of 8 yards. And you know what? Steven Jackson, when he's healthy, that is a full-grown man, Merrill, running the football.
You know, big time. And the last thing you want is to get Jackson into the secondary with your safeties and your corners. However, when you do this, you get a double here, and then you get a seal here and a seal there. You have just an alley. It's not a canal. It's an alley because it is more true to what we see in the National Football League.
Yeah, 32-yard pickup there, and a couple of plays later, Jackson get out of. Nobody is willing to just get in front of him.
Would you?
They don't want any.
Nobody wants a piece of that. It's 24-0. It's 24-0. And there, Breeze is picked off again by Darian Stewart, and he takes it back to the house. It is 31-14. All right, 1:45 to go. Same score, 3rd and 1. Breeze, where's that man again? Oh, Chris Long. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you'll love the rush here. Slips inside and then just drives Breeze to the ground.
Sacked 6 times, 2 picks. Ram win at 31-21. Merrill, how about those blitzes?
Well, Trey, the Rams did a very good job of the design of their pressures, but the execution was outstanding. I want to show you one of those pressures that they did against the Saints, and we're going to just focus on 3 defenders, linebacker and 2 down linemen. They have plenty of guys to block it because it's going to be this tackle, this guard, and the center have to work together to block those guys. But as we snap the ball, look what happens. This little wrinkle here makes it extremely difficult. See, as those linebackers cross, as this linebacker they're responsible for comes this way to get after Drew Brees, well, this guard's working out to blocking. However, this guard's working inside to take this linebacker, and that's where the confusion happens, and or should we say a pick. The left guard needs to kick out and work with that linebacker coming over the top. But I will say this, that's asking a lot of your offensive line to block that. But other teams will see it, they realize the Saints have problems with it, and until the Saints handle it, they're going to see these kind of things week after week.
Well, let us go inside the numbers via Visa, and some of those blitzes led to interceptions. Over the last 2 seasons, Drew Brees has now thrown 32 picks. That is the most in the NFL over that time frame. But if you look further inside the numbers, and we are going inside the numbers, Brees has also thrown many, many more passes, 173 more than any other player during that time frame in the NFL. Well, it was a scary game for both the Cardinals and the Ravens Sunday in Baltimore, but for different reasons. Joe Flacco and company off that abysmal offensive showing in the loss to Jacksonville. Didn't start out real good. Tied at 3, 2nd and 2. Flacco sacked, fumble. The Cardinals recover the ball at the 2. Tim, ball security.
It's been a major issue for Joe Flacco all year long. You got to be more secure. Seat the ball when you get pressure in the pocket. He just hasn't done that this season.
Not at all. That led to a Beanie Wells touchdown, put him up 10-3. And then there's Patrick Peterson. All punt returns are not created equal. Sometimes you get a wall, you don't need to make anybody miss, and you go. This was all Patrick Peterson. My goodness, what athletic display, agility, and ability. 82 yards to the house. The Cardinals are up 17-3. A lot of people in the survivor pool are thinking, this was the safest bet on the board. And the first play of the next drive, it's picked off by Richard Marshall, but that was right off the hands of the receiver, Torrey Smith, Merrill.
Can't blame Joe Flacco for that one. But what you do as a wide receiver, you come back to Holland and go, listen, at some point in the game, I'll pay you back, I promise.
Well, let's get back. Let's get back to that, shall we?
Give me a chance.
Okay, because here, early Doucette puts the Cardinals in the Battle of the Birds up 24-3, and then Anquan Bolden. You know, it's like he used to play for the Cardinals or something, Tim.
And then he decided to just absolutely take this football game over. You look at him here, adjusting to the football, sticking the right hand out and bringing that one-handed catch in.
Physical, you bet. He can still do that. Now it's 1st and 20. No problem. I've got Anquan Bolden for a gain of 27. 2nd and 6. No problem. I've got Anquan Bolden for a gain of 21.
And they found a matchup there.
You think maybe? And then it got really interesting on 3rd and 10. Yeah, that's going to be pass interference. So they try to knock him out before the ball gets there, set up a Ray Rice touchdown. Ravens bring the score to 24-20. Later in the 3rd quarter, 3rd and 3 to Bolden. That's going to be pass interference again. Lead to another Ray Rice score. The Ravens take the lead 27-24. 2nd and 17 for Baltimore on their own 13. Tie game at 27. Merrill, what were you saying? No, it wasn't.
I'll pay it back. I'll make it right.
But he, that time it's Flacco. He couldn't pay it back.
Okay, give me one more chance.
He could. One more chance. Give me one more chance. And here's the chance. Oh, and he makes it right. And that was a nice throw, too.
It was a great throw. Flacco's so good at throwing the ball down the field, drops it right in there for Torrey Smith.
Yeah, we're good, boy. You messed me up one, I messed you up. It's all good now. And Billy Cundiff from 25 yards, bang. And the Ravens come back and win that one 30-27. When we continue here on NFL Primetime, the Ravens got a scare. Eli Manning and the Giants got a scare, almost becoming the first victim of the Miami Dolphins in this season. Meanwhile, Andrew Luck, those inquiring about his services have dwindled by one. There are still others willing to do what they need to do.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa. More fans go with Visa.
I'm Cassidy Hubbard. Coming up tonight on SportsCenter, it was a wild Week 8 full of comebacks, upsets, and frantic finishes. Chris Berman and Tom Jackson join us to help break down the very best from the NFL. Plus, a conversation with Chargers QB Phillip Rivers and a look back at the Cardinals' amazing October run to their 11th World Series title. All this and so much more coming up tonight on SportsCenter on ESPN America.
It is best measured not on a clock,
Everything you got,
but in
your gut, the countdown to kickoff.
How do you want to be remembered?
A new butterfly born with every tick, fluttering around inside. Until you're ready to fly. At game time.
Great stars, great teams in this tournament, but Randolph Childress has eclipsed them all, 70 points in 2 games. Childress, 5 of 6 from downtown.
That's what you call breaking the guy's ankle.
And then he busted his chop.
Right. You wonder about fouling here because the only way they tied is with a 3.
Stack help, got it! Holy cow! Tied at 73 as we go to overtime. Childress for the hanger. Randolph Childress just broke the tournament record and put North Carolina down by 2. A 3 would win it. Stackhouse. No! Wake Forest wins the ACC. Childress with all 9 points in overtime. Money.
Welcome to the ESPN Player, your source for live and on-demand college sports. Catch hundreds of college basketball and football games, including the Bowl Championship Series and March Madness, plus college lacrosse, ice hockey, baseball, and much more. And you can pause and rewind the action so you never miss a play from your favorite team. It's all live, all on demand, all from €9.99 a month. Sign up now for ESPN Player.
You are watching NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
Oh, westbound and down was scary for the Seattle Seahawks. Listen, this had all the makings of a trap game for Marvin Lewis and his young Cincinnati squad, and you know what? They didn't care. Up 10-3, Andy Dalton moving in the pocket. Andy Dalton to A.J. Green, and that's a 43-yard touchdown, and that's double fantasy points for this guy right here on the 43-yard score. Bengals lead 73. You go, Dalton to A.J. Green. Fourth quarter, Bengals up 20-12. Brandon Tate used to do this for the New England Patriots. They no longer required his services, so instead he's doing it in Cincinnati. 56 yards for the score. It's 27-12. Oh, the Bengals defense. Tavares Jackson, hello. Is there a better name than Frosty Rucker?
Probably not.
No, maybe Pat Angerer.
Yeah.
Frosty Rucker.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Frank Wingo.
Yeah, well, that's bad. All right, 4th and 2. Tim, it's 4th and 2, no timeouts. You got to get in.
Right.
You got to kick a field goal.
Kick the field goal or throw the football so you don't end the half without any points.
That's no good.
That's just brilliant.
And then Tavares hit as he throws, and Reggie Nelson 75 yards the other way. Very impressive win for the Bengals on the road in a tough place. They beat up Seattle 34-12. Well, if you saw Stanford and USC, you understand why everybody is clamoring over the idea of Andrew Luck. Tony Soprano and the Dolphins at MetLife Stadium taking on the Giants, and Matt Moore, 3rd and 9. Matt Moore on 3rd and 9 runs it up the middle for a gain of 16. That led to a Steve Slayton 1-yard touchdown run, 7-0 Miami. More Matt Moore. How does he get away from OCU when you're here? How does that happen?
You know why? And Mark Colombo still fighting to protect him. There's a lot of fight early on in this Miami Dolphins.
No question about it. That was a great 2-yard gain. Next play, Moore one more time. Matt Moore, Houdini-esque for a gain of 11. Then later on the drive, 4th and goal. Great play here.
Just get him involved in space. Matt Moore on the edge for the touchdown.
No question. Dolphins up 14-3. Reggie Bush, before this game, had 100-yard rushing game in his career. It came in 2006 at the Giants. And guess what he got on Sunday? His second 100-yard rushing game. He has 200-yard rushing games in his career. Both of them have come against the Giants on the road. 15 carries, 103 yards for Reggie. As for Eli Manning, he had some bad throws, Tim, but he had a lot of great throws.
He sure did. Little slip screen to Ahmad Bradshaw and an excellent effort on the run after the catch for Bradshaw picking up the first down.
Later on the drive, 3rd and 1, 12 seconds left in the half, and Mario Manningham with a fade, 7-yard touchdown. Giants trail 14-10. And then Victor Cruz. Has anybody been more of a pleasant surprise this year than Victor Cruz? Yes, he's had some weird plays and some drops, but he makes more good than bad. And it seems like every time he scores, he's auditioning for Dancing with the Stars. 25-yard score here.
He might be, but he does a great job winning on the release. Basically a version of two-man Will Allen doesn't stay inside. Victor Cruz wins inside. And then great effort into the end zone.
Manning, 31 of 45, 349 yards. Giants hang on to win 20-17. Then there's the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Tennessee Titans. The Colts as a team struggling. Chris Johnson as a player really struggling. Merrill, it's just not the same guy. I don't care what anyone says. Since the contract, he's not running the same.
No, and well, you got to win at the point of attack for him, for Chris Johnson. And then Chris Johnson needs to complement that by hitting the hole, not trying to dance and look for big-time runs. Neither one of them are working right now, therefore Chris Johnson is struggling.
Struggling is putting it mildly. They're paying him $1 gazillion. He had 14 carries for 34 yards. Special teams play getting it done for Tennessee. Titans up 3-0. Colts forced to punt, and Patrick Bailey blocks it. Look at Jason McCourty recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. Heads-up play here.
Yeah, this could be one of like 5 guys to block this punt. Absolute jailbreak on Pat McAfee.
McCourty gets it. Titans up 10-0. Let's get Nate Washington, pride of Tiffin, involved. Now, Matt Hasselbeck, that was a lateral.
Wow, good touchdown run.
Yeah, touchdown run. Throw that forward, it goes for a Matthew Hasselbeck touchdown pass. Matthew, you're better than that, seriously. Nate Washington's pretty good, too, over the middle. Washington, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. Titans win 27-10. Really, Matthew, if you want to improve your stats, throw the ball forward, not backwards. As for those down on our luck, Colts and Dolphins continue their position at the front of the pack, setting up the huge who's going to get Andrew Luck showdown next week. 1-6 Rams versus 1-6 Cardinals. Of course, the everything Colts still may factor into this equation when it's all said and done. When we continue, who's hungry? The best of the very best on Halloween Eve. Stay with us.
NFL Primetime is presented by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. Week 8 sets up a clash in the AFC West as the Bolts look to strike at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs are out to avenge their road loss in Week 3. Can Castle and the boys turn their fortunes around? Or will Rivers and the Superchargers rack up another win and stay on top of the AFC West? It all starts tonight at midnight CET with Monday NFL Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
It says here that New England's pretty good. Any questions?
It's a tough rivalry, and you better bring your A game to play the Patriots.
Every game has some type of implication.
2 tough organizations.
They can embarrass you.
It's always trash talking.
A lot of talk about Tom Brady.
It's always a great rivalry because he's such a tremendous talent.
They're not afraid to rub it in your face.
Our coaches might not like each other.
Well, I'm not looking forward to, going against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, because they clearly are the best team in football is what it looks like. What everybody says, all the experts say, except me.
That divisional game last year,
Finally, we took something from them that was important. We got their attention.
It's always going to be that rivalry.
The championship is going to go to Jimmy Johnson.
One team at the top, time after time, might leave fans wanting something new. But winning never gets old for the winning team.
I mean, it is so difficult to do that in my heart, I know what we've accomplished ranks up there as high as any other professional team.
If you can dream it, you can do it. And some people do more than they dream.
Who's Hungry is brought to you by Snickers, who reminds you to play hungry, but not literally hungry. And watch the film The Man Who Played Literally Hungry at NFL.com/Snickers.
Don't forget to check out Audibles every Thursday, 7 o'clock on ESPN, Facebook, and Twitter. You can send your questions in. Audibles, Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Who's hungry? You guys hungry?
Yeah.
Start. Who do you like, Merrill?
Ben Roethlisberger, big time hungry. The way he has played from the pocket and the rhythm, beating people before the snap and after, playing the best he has played in his career.
Tim.
That's really cute, picking your buddy. I got Eli Manning here, 31 of 45, 349 yards, 2 touchdowns, Nice performance by Eli Manning. He's hungry.
That's really cute, picking your buddy. I'm going with Andy Reid. You know why? Because you don't mess with Andy Reid after a bye week. 13-0 the Eagles are after a bye week, after their destruction of the Dallas Cowboys, 34-7 on Sunday Night Football. You say what you want, but until somebody beats him, you don't want to face Andy Reid after
On a bye.
That'll do it for NFL Primetime. Thanks for watching. Tim, Merrill, Trey, see ya.
I'm Mike Greenberg. Here's what's happening on SportsCenter right now. We begin with news from the world of baseball, where the World Series champion Cardinals need a new manager. After 16 seasons with the team, Tony La Russa announced his retirement.